Welcome to Prowess Coaching at Home Exercises episode 8. And you're getting a tour of the house on this one because we're in the living room this week to do our core exercises. We're going to start off with one that I meant to put in the antagonist video and I totally forgot, but it does work the core as well. It's a little bit of a combination of planking and press-ups, and we're going to have a look at a combination of other things. The last one involves a fingerboard. So if you haven't got one, I'm very sorry, but for those that have, this might be something that's a little bit different and a little bit more interesting, something that works the core muscles as well. We're looking at several things with this one. We're looking at a physical workout to work our core exercises, and we're also looking at some technique as well, some footwork precision. So try and be as precise with your form as you can, and try and be as precise with your footwork as you can on some of the exercises. I'm also going to introduce something called the Louis repetition. This is named after a coach down in London, Louis Parkinson, who I went to see a while ago. And he said that the one thing that really improved him was doing all of the climbs 3 times. So he used to just get to the top, as we all do, and tick the box, there we go, job done, walk away. And what he's now started doing is repeating everything 3 times. The first time is as seen. The second time is slightly refined, and the third time is as perfect as you can. So I've started calling it the Louis repetition. Give it a go with some of the exercises and the gaps in between. If you're doing 3 sets, then the first set is just as it comes. The second set you try and be a little bit more refined and see if you can improve it. And the third set is as perfect as you can possibly be. Consider filming yourselves as well, and I'd love to see some of your efforts and some of your exercises, so yeah, feel free to send me some information. I'm sorry also that there was no video last week and there's been a bit of a gap, but that's because there's an article online about how you can improve for your climbing without going climbing, and there's a link on the screen. So feel free to go to the website, feel free to have a bit of a read. It's a bit of a tome, but it does break it down into sections. So have a read, see what you think. As usual, any questions, any comments, any queries, quandaries, anything like that, please feel free to get in touch. Website again is on the screen, or contact me through the Facebook group, Prowess Coaching on Facebook. Let's have a look at these exercises.
So let's start off with exercise 1, and this is it's very similar to one of the ones in episode 1. Here all I'm doing is lying on my back, and I'm writing the name of one of my projects with my toe. Sounds a little silly, but it does work. I would suggest picking 5 projects. Ideal if you want to climb MGC at Borrowdale. Not so great if you're after Mohammed the Mad Monk of Moorside. But yeah, pick 5 projects and just write the toes out. And remember what we said before, watch out for form and try and be as specific with your footwork as you can. On to exercise 2, and this is the one that I wanted to include last time. This is press-ups, but with a pause, and this is where the planking comes in. You can do this pause with absolutely anything, but we're going to stop in 3 places, halfway up, at the bottom, and at the top, and we're going to stop for a deep breath. So when you pause, take a deep breath, and then carry on again. Watch out for form. I had to re-record this because I watched the first one and my back was not straight at all. So watch out for form, and again use that Louis repetition to possibly film yourself, have a look at what you're doing and see if you can refine how you're doing things, keep things a bit more in control. Exercise 3 brings literally just walking the hands forward before bringing the hands back to them. See how far away from you can get your hands, and again pause at the end for a deep breath. Again, I did about 6 repetitions and about 3 sets, but it's an interesting one. One caveat, just be careful. I'm in bare feet here just to make sure that my feet don't slip and I don't face plant the floor and end up breaking my nose in hospital. The next one involves some big heavy guidebooks. I've got Lake District Bouldering and personal local favourite, the North Wales Bouldering Guide. You want a nice heavy guidebook for this. My partner asked me and said, why are you putting guidebooks on your feet? And the idea of this is to make sure that that your form stays really good, that your feet stay very balanced. It also adds a little bit of weight, which is why I've gone for big heavy guidebooks and not something like a cushion. I'm not touching the floor, my legs aren't touching the floor. When I stretch out here it looks like I'm lying flat on the floor, but I'm not. The only thing touching the floor is my lower back and my backside. So stay off the floor, transfer the guidebook from foot to hand, and then repeat. This one I saw online, and actually in retrospect I might have had the chairs a little bit further apart. These are reverse elbow push-ups, and again I'm just straightening my back and dropping back down into it. This should be a fairly comfortable position, that should be a strenuous position to work the core muscles in the middle. If you get the chairs a little bit further out so they're near the edge of the elbows, then you can lift with your elbows at the same time and have a bit of scapular engagement too. Just be careful that the chairs don't slip. Again, be mindful of not hurting yourselves. This last one is the exercise with the fingerboard, and I've got an in front and behind because I've got two fingerboards, so that you can see what happens with both of them. We're literally going to hang 90 degrees and then kick the legs out in front of us. Thighs 90 degrees out in front, kick the legs out in front. As usual, for more information, please get in touch.